What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new video. Today I want to talk about by far the easiest way that you can increase the print-on-demand sales that you currently have to more in the future. All right. So this is literally by far the easier way. Out of all the different ways there are, by far the easiest. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using the whiteboard to go ahead and demonstrate what I'm talking about. All right. So the first thing is that you should be daily uploading. There's no question about that. But let's go ahead and talk about when you're uploading on a daily basis, how that actually looks like, and how to change your setup so that you can actually multiply your income. I'll explain what I mean. Okay, so let's say you're uploading X amount per day. Let's just draw a picture of 16 boxes here. Okay, so these 16 boxes each represent a design that you're creating. Okay, so when you create these designs, whether you design 16 a day, whether you design 30 a day, whether you design 50 a day, or whether you design 60 a day, kind of like me, when you're doing your designs, right, if you're familiar with how we teach it in the design course, we talk about having a category. And why this is important is because when we have a category, we divert that category into multiple different subcategories. For those who take the course, they know what I'm talking about. Now, when we're doing this actually makes sense because typically when we're designing all day, we're typically designing for one store, right? One store. And usually that one store, let's just use Redbubble for example, has a specific niche, okay? So it has a specific niche. Now, what a niche is I want you to think of this two different ways. When we talk about niche, there's two different ideas, all right? The first idea is from a search standpoint, a niche is a keyword, okay? So it's a keyword or a phrase, whatever you want to call it. But for example, if I go here to Redbubble and I search for unicorn fan club, that is its own niche. If I search for unicorn fan, let's just put it that way, that is its own niche as well. So there are different niches or there are different keywords. I want you to think of the word from a search perspective, right? Let's go ahead and change up the color here just to emphasize that from a search perspective, the niche is the same thing as the keyword. They are synonymous. Every time a keyword changes, the niche changes. But from a consumer's perspective, a niche can be wide-ranged. So what does wide-range really mean? Well, when you have a niche, let's just say a niche like baseball. Well, baseball, we could do a lot of things within baseball. We can have pictures of athletes, for example. We can have logos of baseballs. We could do baseball shirts. We could do a lot of different things within baseball. So that's its own niche as well. So we have, from a consumer standpoint, a niche is its own wide range of, essentially, it provides a wide range of different categories. Now, when you're creating all these designs, right, your X amount of designs a day, whatever that number might be, when you're uploading these designs, they all should be in a similar niche, okay? And when I say niche in this case, I'm not saying keyword, but I'm saying category or wide range. And that range could vary, but like I said, the way we teach the designing is that we teach it from an efficiency standpoint. We don't want to slow down when designing. But here's the trick to actually increase your sales. The reality is you're going to do this every day. You're going to upload your designs every day. You're going to get to a point where a certain day you get a sale. And if you've already got sales, this is a great example. You could actually go ahead and do this right now, is that I want you to look at that design that you got sales in. And I want you to search for that specific design. So search for the title right now of that design. I want you to find it, whether it's on Redbubble, whether it's on TeePublic, whatever platform you're on, doesn't matter. Merch by Amazon, doesn't matter. I want you to find it. And then I want you to ask yourself, who am I competing with? And I want you to look at your tags, okay? Let me actually write this down so we can all have this saved here. I want you to look at your tags. I want you to look at your title. I want you to look at your competition as well. And I want you to ask yourself, how do I stand out through my competition? Now remember, there are 3 ways in terms of, for example, Redbubble, that you can stand out. We already mentioned 2 of them. Can anybody guess what they are? What are those 3 ways? I'll give you a hint. One of those ways is the design that you can stand out. What else can you do to stand out? You can alter your title. You can alter your tags. Now, for the design that you already got a sale in, do not change anything, right? You just want to leave it the way it is. Don't change anything on that. But what you're going to do is that one design, do you guys remember that grid that we showed? That one design that got you a sale, you need to go back to that one design, all right? When you go back to that one design, let's just assume it's this one. Now, you want to create an X amount, whatever it be, 30, 20, 50, 60, amount of variations to that design. Now, you can go as broad as completely different text, completely different concepts, or you can go as basic as colors, okay? Now, there are certain situations in which I would do colors or patterns or something like that, and I'll give you guys an example here. Let's pull up, can I even pull it up here? Okay, let's just use this example. Let's just use this, okay? I don't know what this is. What is this? Blade Runner unicorn logo? I'm not sure if this is for a company or whatever, but let's just use this as an example. Let's say I got this product as a sale, and I'm creating all these other designs. Well, for this product, if I look at it logically, I don't see any text. I can switch up three things. I can switch up my title, I can switch up my design, I can switch up my tags. Well, I would look at my tags, assess my tags, and I could just tell you the tags here are not that good, so things need to change there. The title, I mean, yes, you could change it, but let's just forget about the title for now, because I don't really know Blade Runner. What is Blade Runner? Is that some sort of company, TV show, video game? I don't know what that is. But anyways, this image right here, well, what are ways we can advance this image? Well, the black background we can turn into a pattern. We can turn it into various patterns. The white in the background, right? The white as the image. We could turn that into various colors. We could turn that into various patterns as well. We can add patterns to that. We can add text to the image. We could do literally whatever we want. And this is probably not a perfect example, but hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. This basketball is another perfect example, right? We can switch up colors in this logo. We can switch up patterns in this image. We can switch up a whole host of different things to create different variations. Now, why does this actually matter, and how is this actually going to help you make your income? Well, for one, you're occupying more space in the algorithm, right? So you're occupying more space, and the more space you own, the bigger chance you have for increasing your passive income. Remember that all we're doing is we are creating assets. That's the obvious version, but that's really not the most important version. There's two more things that are much more important. Well, we're going to be performing a self-analyzed study. Why? It's because we get to test and see what tags are the most profitable for us. Now, I won't be able to do this necessarily for you, but you have to do this for yourself. So this is why, like I said, if you guys remember, this is why I mentioned the original design. If you guys remember the original design, I mentioned what are the things that you can change from that original design. You can change the title, you could change the tags, and you could change your design. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to actually do a study. In psychology, when we do studies, we have to have one variable, and then we have to have constants. And what a variable is something that's changeable. So let's say we create a similar design, or we create the exact same design, but we switch up the tags. So the tags, we can switch them up, right? So the tags, like whatever keywords they are, we can switch them and see what tags are more profitable. And we can understand and start learning about how to make tags more profitable for ourselves, right? Now, if you're in the tagging course, then you probably already know what tags to use, right? The Redbubble tagging course, because we show from an SEO perspective, searching on Redbubble, how to get that done. And in fact, if you're not in the Redbubble tagging course, we actually published a free video where I showed how I created designs and got them ranked. And it was just a few days ago. So if you need that video, hit me up in the comments down below. I'll send you the link to that. But we did record that video, and it was public, and it was free, and we showed how to do that, right? Now, once again, this is for self-analysis. This is for self-improvement. Maybe one time your tags is not going to be the variable. Maybe your title is not going to be the variable. Maybe it's your design that's going to be the variable. Maybe your tags are perfectly fine, right? For the people that maybe took the tagging course, maybe now they want to test their designs. So they're going to create different variations of those designs. And something that we always say in the print on demand space is, what do we say? We say double down. Double down. And that's exactly what double downing means. When you find something that works, you do more of it. Remember that this was the original successful design, that this one was. And we're creating now different variations of it. Either way, whether we change the design, whether we change the title, whether we change the tags, we're still adding different variation here. And that is what is allowing us to now multiply our income. And we're coming from a position of power and authority. Why are we doing that? It's because we already got a sale on our original product. So let's say we create this original product, it gets a sale, and then we create 50 different versions. Right? We create 50 different versions. Based on those 50 different versions, let's just say we get 5 sales. And out of those 5 sales, one of those different versions, so like let's say this one right here, gets 3 sales, right? And then we get a sale here and a sale here. So we get 3 sales here, a sale here, and a sale here. Out of all those 5 sales, this one got the most sales. We can analyze now, why did this one get the most sales? And we can see what made it different. Now, what I'm really talking about here, guys, is this is self-experimentation. And this is exactly what I did to go from 0 to hero. I'll explain what I mean by that. When I first started getting into Redbubble, the very, very first month, I got lucky. I had fourth quarter advantage. I was, I guess you could just say luck of the draw. If we go over here, this was the first month on one of the stores that I really cared about. Over $300 the first month. Went up a little bit more, and I was very, very satisfied. But then if you notice, it dropped down severely. And that drop kept continuing until it hit June. At June, I thought that there was something wrong with my account. And this is where I started to sit back and analyze. And it did take me a little while. I say it took me a little bit more than 60 days to start truly learning Redbubble. And what I did was I started self-analyzing everything I was doing from a scientific standpoint. And what I realized is that there were things that I was doing right by mistake, but the things that I was doing wrong, I was just doing them because I didn't know any better, and I was just doing whatever I thought worked at the moment. But that's when I really hunkered down, started really focusing. That's when my sales shot up through the roof. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying that this is typical for everybody, because you could see the numbers dropped a little bit. But at this point here, when it started dropping a little bit, I started to trust myself more. And this is where the notion for me came to where I'm starting to create multiple stores now. So if you see here what happened here, I didn't upload anymore after this point. After this point, I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I knew that one of my stores that I created was succeeding now. I kind of cracked the code. I understand the game now to Redbubble. What am I going to do? I'm going to go create other stores and see what happens. And for the rest of the time, the numbers were up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. But something that I did realize is that I can control the success level of my print-on-demand store. And we could do this for every single platform, whether it be Zazzle, whether it be Redbubble, whether it be TeePublic, whether it be, list any platform out there, maybe even Etsy. Now, Etsy is not necessarily print on demand, but you get my point. These are different ways to make passive income and increase our financial freedom in life. But the point here is that through analysis and self-experimentation, I was able to find some results, some level of understanding. Now, for me, one of the biggest things and one of the biggest red pills that I walked away with is understanding that I have zero ownership over the platform. And for me, I realized at this point, after I had blown up my store, I said, let me not put any more effort into the store because it has more than enough designs. At this point, it had over 1,000. And I said to actually, it was over, I think, 2,000. Or 2,800. I'm not sure, but I think definitely over 2,000. But I said, let me go ahead and invest my time and effort into other stores. And that's where I created one store that had 800 plus designs. Another one had over another 1,000. And then another one. And then that's where kind of the idea came from, where I decided, okay, I'm going to create multiple stores from now on to protect myself. And that's really where it all started. This moment here was an awakening for me. It was a period of understanding. And that period of understanding partially came from, or mostly, percentage-wise, I would say 50% of it came from this self-experimentation and realization that there is a process to gain success, and sometimes that process is just through self-analysis and experimentation and creating variables and constants. And when you do have this variable constant method, you can say to yourself, okay, one is performing better than the other for XYZ reason, right? And that's the beautiful thing about studies and science and things like that, is we can pinpoint if something is more effective than the other because of this constant variable approach. If we have one variable in a room full of constants, then we know that one variable, the change, is what most likely led to that change of the variable led most likely to the either the positive increase in sales or the decrease in sales. So whatever the case may be. But this is exactly what you can do, and this is probably the easiest method out of all the methods there to go out and make money. Notice what I said here is this method doesn't cost you anything, doesn't require more effort than it has to be. It doesn't do any of these things to you. Why? Well, it's because it just takes hard work. And it's not easy to go out there and do this, or it is easy depending on who you are, but it just takes time, And yes, there are other ways to make money. I mean, yes, you could easily just turn on an Instagram bot, start interacting with people, and then all of a sudden you get more sales. Yes, I've shown that. I've shown how that works. I've got a sale in first 18 hours within the first week, had over 10 sales. I've shown how that goes. But the thing is that out of all the different methods out there, this is one surefire way to almost guarantee understanding. Aside from just sales, it's about understanding, right? Teach a man to fish, or give him a fish. Which one would you prefer? Well, teaching a person to fish is to do this process. You give them a few fish, that's through the Instagram. Yeah, you'll make money doing it, but that doesn't mean you know what you're doing, right? Like, I could give the Instagram bots to anybody. They start using them, let's just use it as an example, and they start making money. Doesn't mean they know what they're doing necessarily, right? But if you do this method, now this is better. Now, I'm not saying anything's wrong with Instagram. I'm just, putting that out there. There's nothing wrong with doing automation. There's nothing wrong with going and getting that easy money. But the thing is that we need to come from a point of understanding the platform as opposed to just hoping we get sales, all right? So I figured I'd put this video out. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Bye.